guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Gemini for July 2020. Keep in mind it's a general reading. Take what you feel resonates for you on a soul level. Disregard the rest, my friends. Go about your day, and know that no matter what messages do come through today, it's still up to you, your active free will, the choices you make, and the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment it is that you'd like to see, as well as how you integrate this message today. For all my subscribers, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. You mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please feel free, if this does resonate, to hit subscribe, join the journey with me, and let me encounter your energy more often. It'd be wonderful to have you along this ride. So I am just going to say as well, even though I'm saying this is for July 2020, I feel like this is not necessarily time specific. This may be picking up on a situation from the past life, something that has yet to enter into the energy field, or something that you're experiencing. Again, just take it how it applies for you. So I'm just going to take a moment to call in Spirit, my team of light, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and the Goddess Isis to join us today, to guide, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible only, and to deliver messages in the clearest way possible as well. So I'm going to start off with a message from Life Oracle, and this is by Mario Dugue, just to get a little spiritual advice for us today. Let's see what we have. This is for the sign of Gemini for July 2020, please, Spirit. This is bugging me. There, sorry. That's better. Okay, so let's see what we have for the sign of Gemini, please. July 2020. Gemini, please, July 2020. What would you have Gemini know? Anything else that you would have Gemini know? I say check this one first. So first we have the path of light. And if you see this path here, it is long and it is winding. So I feel like this is have patience with the process. Remember that as we move through our healing, it is not linear. Things change. Sometimes we change our minds on the things that we wanted to experience, as well as we change our mind on what our goals are. So that's okay if we realize that this path is long and winding. I'm hearing a Beatles song, The Long and Winding Road, actually right now. Some of you, that may be really helpful to look it up. But this man here, it looks like, from what we can tell, he's just starting his journey. He's crossing onto that bridge, crossing that threshold. Life places the perfect people and situations on my path to help me advance on my journey of inner growth. In spite of all obstacles, I have the courage. I become aware of my life's experiences, and I study them wisely in order to improve myself. I choose to grow in faith and am confident that at the end of my road, I will join the light down here. So this is a process, again, on the road to light. Excuse me. What I'm also being guided to show you is all of the different colors on the sidelines, that we are meant on this earth to experience things in Technicolor, is what I heard. Alive, be proud, be vibrant, and to go through whatever spirit gives us, and to go through the changes in our world with that vibrancy, with that curiosity and aliveness. So paying attention to the colors around you as well. For some of you, color therapy may really help. But through this, if you can see, there's this long path, and then to get to the light, there's still a mountain here. This path as well is strength building. So remember to stay in the light. If you feel darkness creeping in or forces of darkness around you, call in the light, call in spirit, ask for protection, and know that you get to choose to grow. This is not being forced upon you. It's you get to choose. If you don't want to grow, you can stay stagnant, you can stay the same, and you can stay stuck on this bridge in the path, but you won't get to figure out what's on the other side of that. So what else would you have? Wow, a lot. All this fell out. I'm going to keep this bottom one, which is application, and we'll find out what else do you have for Gemini. Dance to the rhythm of life. One more card, please, Spirit. We'll take 4 here. This guy. Alright, and they want me to show you the bottom, which is God sustains me. Source sustains you. I cease to worry about what might happen to me. I turn each day over to God and put an end into my inner turmoil. I welcome things as they are without resistance. I keep moving forward even if sometimes I feel alone. I know that the love of God sustains me. Now once more I am filled with my greatest strength, faith. And this is a really important lesson to keep right? To have faith in this process, to have faith in ourselves as well, that you're strong enough to overcome whatever obstacles life has put in your path, and to see them for what they are, to learn from them. And this is important here because application is one of the things that came out. We can learn and we can learn and we can learn. We can study theory, we can read, spiritual advice, but unless we're able to apply it to our life, it's just a bunch of stuff we learned. But do we really learn if we know how to apply it? So one of the things also with application, I feel like, is if we're triggered, right? If we're going about our day, if we're on our path of light and darkness rears its head, if we're triggered by something, if an old emotion pops up or an old situation that we again have to deal with, this is our opportunity to say, what have I learned? To use our as well as our empowered vulnerability to take our feelings and to say, okay, why was I triggered? Why was this here? How can I use this information moving forward in my day-to-day world to help make things better for me? The laws of universal love take root in my life. Everything learned during my spiritual quest must now be applied. The knowledge of the mind will be transformed into life knowledge. I radiate love at all times. I overcome my ego. I allow light to transform my heart and my thoughts, and I act in accordance with the will of God. I feel like sometimes this is also about walking our talk, right? That we may be able to tell ourselves what we're supposed to do, give advice to other people, but when it comes to our own life, sometimes our ego gets in the way. And this is saying, hey, everyone's got ego. There's no shame in seeing the ego, mind of yourself, seeing the ego part of yourself, and having to go, you know what? This has been holding me back. It's time to move on, and that is application as well. Dance to the rhythm of your life. Today I rediscover the joy in my heart. I cease to cling to things I do not need, to things I do not have, and to things I am not. I no longer struggle against life or simply endure it. I regain a positive attitude. I appreciate and accept life as it is. I live accordingly to the will of God and see the magic of love everywhere in my life. And this is kind of like with this path of life, dancing to that rhythm, seeing the vibrancy, enjoying the colors, dancing with it, enjoying life, not having to see it as, well, one spiritual step after another. This is something to be enjoying. And if we're finding in our worlds that we're not enjoying it, what can we do to change that? How can we make changes to our world and apply these changes? And we have my creative power. Really important as well. I recognize the power of my thoughts. Do I use these thoughts to build or destroy? I choose to create my universe filled with and surrounded by joy and harmony. I will maintain a positive attitude and let no one or nothing discourage me. I create love and peace. And if you are having discouraging thoughts, transform them. Say, you know what? I bring awareness to that. I see what you're doing there. I see this. And I'm going to transform it by saying, you know what? Here's this limited belief. I'm going to think of 3 great things, 3 positive things that I can replace this narrative with, as well as using your mind accordingly. You are the master of your domain. You are the master of your mind. So if things are coming to you that are darkness, that are destructive, self-destructive as well, if there's emotions like jealousy or hurt feelings that are clouding your judgment as well, this is one of these things to go, okay, what I'm about to do, these thoughts, are they helping me or are they hindering me? Am I creating something out of love and peace, or am I creating something that may cause destruction? And how is this going to unfold in my world? I think this is so important to remember. And this is one affirmation that you can continually tell yourself in the mirror if you have to. I create love and peace. The universe really does respond to you. And the more on this path of light that you focus on the light, focus on the love in your world, and focus on being peaceful, being at peace with your situation, and creating peace out into the world, the more you really will have that. So it doesn't matter necessarily what our outward situation looks like. If we are at peace within ourselves, if we are trusting in spirit, trusting in the divine, we're going to find that this path of light, it's a whole lot easier to move on. So I'm going to bring a message now from the sacred, it's called the Sacred Self-Care Oracle, and I really like this deck. I'm going to ask a little bit of advice here for how to apply this spiritual knowledge along the path of light, please, for Gemini, July 2020. Advice for applying the lessons that we have learned. Thank you. Okay, so number 20 is first we get is dream journal. Some of you may be getting very, very vivid dreams. This may be spirit communicating through you. You may be having, I also heard soul connection, soul contract dreams. There could be past life stuff coming up as well for you at this time. And this is saying, if you're sleeping well, you may not always remember your dreams, but if you remember little snippets, wake up, write it down. And I think it's important on how did this dream make you feel? Before, you go ahead and analyze anything, how did you wake up out of this dream? Did you want to wake up out of this dream? Was this something that you felt warm and fuzzy? Was this something that you felt defensive? Did you feel scared? Was there any animal archetypes? These kinds of things. And really pay attention to them, because there could be a lot of subconscious meaning for them for you, as well as if there's any reoccurring dreams, this could be related to past life stuff. We also have number 28, which is intuition. Following your intuition, especially if it has to do with this dreams. Following your intuition when you are making your choices along your path. Does this feel right for me? Does this not feel right for me? In your gut, around your belly button, when you're going to make choices, how does it make you feel? This is important because you can trust in yourself. You can trust in the process, and you can understand as well and trust that you are a divine being and that Spirit's not going to lead you in the wrong direction. Follow your gut, because it's less regret later is one of the things that I heard as well. And we get number 8, which is chanting. For some of you, this may literally be like kind of Buddhist idea of chanting. This could be light language, channeling light language. This may be singing. This is understanding, though, that your words have power, your words have meaning, and there's a mantra with this one that says, my voice is heard. That's important. Along your path of light, one of the things that a lot of us have to do is learn how to enforce and set boundaries for ourselves, for other people. If there's people being negative in our world, finding ways to squash that, to say, listen, I understand that we share a different storyline. I understand that we share a different set of beliefs, but that doesn't make my beliefs or your beliefs any less valid. We can still get along. We can still behave as caring and respectful adults is one of the things that I'm hearing with this. So I want to get you a little bit of a message. First off, let's start for the dream journal. So the mantra here is, I remember my dreams, control my dreams, and use my dreams as a playground for growth. Dream journaling is a powerful practice. Once you establish a flow with it, there are many insights to gather from your astral adventures. Commit to interacting with your dreams in a new way and looking for the wisdom and guidance they hold for you. Maybe even jot down a few questions you can ask before falling asleep, calling in the answers to appear within your dream realm. So starting with a 7-day commitment to just write down what you remember about your dreams as soon as you wake up, before you forget them. You can get in the right flow or record voice notes for yourself and later transcribe them if you wish. Try naming your dreams like a book or a movie to help organize reoccurring themes. And then you can look through this and see what are those reoccurring themes. This also to me is if you're engaging in meditation practices, write down the visions that you see. If you are also doing shamanic work, if shamanic dream work, this would be really great time to write down the insights. And like this book said, you can go to sleep asking for some answers. I would suggest that you ask these answers to come in the most peaceful way possible. Sometimes we get scary dreams and things like that, and it makes us not want to go back into these dreams. But I think those ones are also important, that when you wake up, let's say it's in the middle of the night, you're waking up from a dream, you don't want to go back into that dream, but somehow you fall asleep and you're back in that dream. Oftentimes you'll remember a little bit more about that. Why, right? What was it here for? Again, reoccurring themes, animal themes. Using your intuition, I want to read to you the mantra here for that one. I listen to my intuition as it leads me on my highest path. And a journal prompt, in case you wanted to dive deeper into this, is recall a time when you intuitively knew something was a bad idea, but you ignored your intuition. How can you learn from this experience? And even if you don't want to journal that, we all have had a time where we did something we knew was a bad idea, but we were either going with the flow, listening to other people, caving to peer pressure, or at the time just didn't understand a way out of it. How did it make you feel? And that's important too, to be like, sometimes our dreams are trying to tell us things as well. So follow your intuition. It's not going to steer you wrong. And remember that your voice is heard. For some of this may literally be chanting. Some of this as well as chakra balancing. So there are certain sounds and vibrations held for each different chakra. For example, your crown and your third eye is Om. Throat and your heart, your throat is Ham. Your heart is Yam. Your solar plexus is Ram. Your sacral is Vam. And your root is Lam. Those kinds of things. You can even go on YouTube and look for different sort of chanting to help you if you're new to it. That particularly for me is something I'm new to. I haven't really engaged in this. I'm also a Gemini, so maybe that's something I should start looking into as well. But light language as well can be very healing for you as well. So if this is new to you, I would suggest go on YouTube, look for, healing chants, as well as if you are interested in light language. I have a playlist called Healing Vibes, and there is a video in there by Marilyn Cronin on how to activate your light language. That may also be something that you feel you want to try out. Just a suggestion. So the bottom of the deck here is rest. Look at that. Get yourself some rest, my friends. You are, again, on a path. It is not something that can be accomplished overnight. And we need to ensure that we're at our best state going through our day. I find as well, when we get enough rest, we're less triggered, right? We are less grouchy. We are a whole lot more energized as well in the morning. So this is important. Rest is essential. Rest is important. And I think it's important as well to listen to your intuition. Listen to your body. It knows what it needs. If you're tired, go to sleep. These kinds of things. And also engage in things, even if it's not necessarily sleeping, engage in things that make you feel refreshed after you do them. So I'm going to move these up. And I'm going to grab a message now. My throat is kind of being weird here. I feel like this is really important. Using sound vibrations. Some of you as well, it may be important to look up healing frequencies as well. So let's get a message here. This is from the Wildwood Tarot for Gemini for July 2000. I almost said 18. This flew out outright. I'm going to keep it. But this is not for 2018, 2019. This is absolutely for 2020. There may be situations that I feel like you may have had a few years in the running. I feel like for some of us as well with your spiritual awakenings, I know for myself, and again, this is not about me, but 2017, 2018, they are really important years for me, spiritually, in terms of kind of starting that spiritual awakening process. Some of you also, those years might be important. It may have started before, you may be starting now, but if there was any significance to that 2019 and before, take it again, but take what resonates. So there's movement, and I feel like this is the Knight of Pentacles. Normally the Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight, but well thought through, very, very, I heard strong-minded as well. So this could be an earth sign in your life, a Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn, but he's galloping, he's charging towards his goals. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for me for July 2020, please? Okay, so we have the Knight of Arrows. Communication. This could be a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Could be you guys, Gemini. This could be this owl, it's a hawk, is sitting high above in a tree, looking down into this stream, being in the tree, keeping an eye out for what it's looking for, keeping an eye out for prey. I feel like this is important as well because you have also the Ace of Stones, which is the Ace of Pentacles. This is something firm. This is something planted on its feet. And this may be a communication that starts to happen. There could be moving forward in new ways of thinking. I do feel like this is a communication, though, that is well thought through. Something that kind of has the eye on the prize, and the prize is something new, a foundation, something being built. For some of you, I heard you may be building a house as well. So this was in the reverse. I don't feel at this point that it is important that it's in the reverse, but we will discuss this. This is the Guardian. So in many cases, this is the Death card, one of the Death cards. But this is about overcoming our fear, right? Are we guarding our heart a little? We have the Ten of Bows. Oof. About putting the burdens down. Your responsibility, maybe you've always been really responsible your whole life. And you felt like your whole life you're doing something for someone else. It's time to lay those responsibilities down and really take a rain check on some of them, but really take an accurate look at your life and say, in my world, all of these things that I'm doing, how are they benefiting me? Not saying that you shouldn't help people, not saying that you shouldn't follow through with your commitments, but if there's things that have just been super burdensome for you to carry, I feel like it's like, lay some of them down. You know, yeah, do your part in this world, but if they're holding you back, if you are also being led by fear, some of us may be doing things because we have a fear of what happens if I stop. That's also something to analyze. We have two other cards here. So the Fool, and you have this Three of Arrows with the broken heart or jealousy. I feel like there may have been movements taken forward in the past, done out of jealousy, done out of spite. This may have been by ourselves, by us, right? This may have been done by someone else around us, but I feel like it's time to try a new way of being. It's time to try a new way of thinking. And if we're wanting to move forward, if there's a relationship in our life that we're wanting to move forward, but our foundations have been kind of set on jealousy or set on heartbreak, set on some sort of imbalance of responsibility, it's time really to acknowledge those, get down to the bare bones of the situations, remove the skeletons from the closet, toss this, move this thing aside, and get through, because that's what's important. This is also crossing a rainbow bridge. And I think that's important too, because we're entering such a wonderful time. Right now, there's so much cosmic energy that is, I feel, here to help us change, help us evolve. There's a lot of scary in this world as well, but don't let it stop you from following your dreams. Don't let it stop you from taking the next steps forward into this new stable, grounded life. Spirit, what else do you have? Tell me about this Ace of Stones. What is this new foundation of life? Thank you. The Eight of Stones. Some of you, the Eight of Stones. So the Eight of Pentacles. And this is about skill. Some of you may have been going to school, and this is kind of a difficult time too. If we've been going to school, if we've been studying something, it's not the same world as when we started school right now. But I feel like this skill, I heard, use your resources accordingly, think things through differently, and you have these skills. Maybe you can't, or the opportunity, not that you can't, I'm not trying to put a limitation on you, but maybe the traditional or conventional way of doing things isn't an option right now. How can you do something a little unconventional? How can you dance to the rhythm of your life with this card, right? How can you bring changes? How can you bring this application of your new skills? How can you use what you've learned to help create a new stable foundation? And I feel like whatever these skills are, you're going to help people. You need to jump. You need to take the offers that are presented to you. If your intuition tells you yeah, if you feel yes, it's for me. If there's offers that are presented to you that you feel are subpar, Say, I'm sorry. That's not something for me, but thank you very much for thinking about me. Thank you for the offer. This idea, this jealousy as well, I want to dive a little deeper into it. But I feel like this is not going about things like, well, this person or this person around me got this job and got this stuff and I need to have what they have to be successful. This is not being driven by that kind of darkness. This is, they want me to read to you a bit of number 15 about the Guardian. So this Guardian stands at Samhain on November 1st at the gateway of the dead. He stands between the elements of water and earth and is associated with the waning moon. A challenge has arrived in your life. The situation may be very complex. It may even have profound implications for your life and how you deal with the world. It may manifest itself in the form of a profound inner realignment or the facing of some physical outer predicament. Whether from the labyrinth that this human mind or from some external source, the challenge that presents itself now must be seen for what it is, an opportunity. If something has been hidden or repressed, if a situation has been left to decay or become unhealthy, now is the time to take control of your fears and deal with the insecurity with courage and integrity. Always be aware, however, that however threatening or difficult this situation is, you can only become stronger and more resilient from the experience of understanding and accepting inner darkness. So this also has some associations with the trickster, the dark angel, Hermie the hunter, the dark man of the sacred oak, Pan, sentinel of the threshold, Oberon, and lord of the underworld. So this also, I feel like this is death combined with the devil as well. About your fears, right? Anything that's lurking underneath, it is time again to get to these bare bones and to figure out what it is, to deal with them and move on so that you can move on. And one of the things I always feel like with this card is that prehistoric man, caveman, what would they have used? Tribal ways of fending off enemies would be fear tactics and decoys. And this is what this is, I feel like. If there is fear tactics and decoys that have hurt you, see what they are and say, you know what, I am absolutely done holding on to this stuff and it's time to make my move. And as well as with this Eight of Stones, this may have been skills that you have learned from your past experiences that now you go, you know what, I'm so much stronger for all of this stuff. There are things in our world that when we're moving through them, we think, oh my gosh, how can I ever survive this? How can I ever endure this? And somehow we do. And we become more wise and we become stronger individuals for it. So I feel like this is important. Charge forward, move forward. This could be communication with someone else, but this could be talking about the experiences of your past. This could also be talking about, you know, what you've learned, how you want to implement it, and even changing the ways you're thinking it so that you can make those first moves forward. So I'm going to bring one last message before I let you guys go from the Isis Oracle today. And let's see what Lady Isis has to say for us, please. Isis, what do you have for the sign of Gemini, please? The Dark Mysteries, so the Chamber of the Dark Goddess. And this speaks a lot about like that cave bear, right? The darkness within us has something to teach us. Magic and ritual. That this is important as well. For some of you, that could be when you're going to sleep asking for answers, asking for something to be told. You have here as well the Divine Guardian, protection of the Winged Mother. You are protected along your path. Absolutely protected to do the things that are right for you. And you also have the Flower of Life here. Things are moving, things are changing, things are unfolding as well. Divine creativity and manifestation. Pour your energy into something new. Pour it into something creative. Use all of this that you have learned, all of these dark mysteries, anything that's kind of kept you outside of, I feel even yourself. It's time to really see them. And this also, this crafting your sacred practice, using positive affirmations, figuring out what works for you, and holding that true to yourself, but knowing that you're protected to do this. That's what I have for you guys. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful month. Bye, guys.